Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue and I am back for another girlfriend's review. All right, now y'all please forgive me for being out of order, but these will be labeled correctly. This is episode 5 and 8 because I skipped episode 5 and went straight to 6 and 7. I'm so sorry about that. I hate that they're out of order, but they were going to be too short in order for me to separate it into one video. So I was just kind of like, you know, well, there aren't really any continuity issues as far as these episodes, you know. So I'm just gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about it. I hope y'all are enjoying these throwback reviews, and let's press on. So episode 5, all right, Tony is in Joan's kitchen begging for $1,000 to pay her car note for her Range Rover, because y'all know Tony loves to pretend like she has a lot of money, but she doesn't, okay? And Joan says, girl, I paid it last month and I told you that would be the last time that I paid your car note, okay? And she's like, oh my God, are you gonna stand there and let me go back to driving around in a Camry? She was like, you should be driving around in a Camry. That's what you can afford, okay? Listen, if this ain't telling a story about way too many damn people, how y'all like to act like you got money when you don't, living above your means, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love a Benz truck. I would love a Benz truck, okay? I would even want I would really want my Jeep Wrangler Sahara Unlimited, okay? I really do. That's going to be my next call when I can afford a $800 car note. But I got to get some of these credit cards down first. You know what I'm saying? Got way too much stuff I got to pay for, okay? Taxes, IRS. It's too much stress for me to be out here paying expensive ass car notes and possibly getting them, you know, repounded or whatever they call when they take your car away from you, okay? I've never had that happen to me because I always buy cars that I can afford. Thank you, parents, for the responsibility that you taught me. And apparently Joan's parents taught her responsibility, because you ain't never seen her have to ask nobody to pay none of her bills. Just saying. Joan suggests that because Marcus is looking for a house, that maybe Tony can show him some houses. First, Tony wants to be upset that she didn't already tell her that her man was looking for a house and your best friend is a real estate agent. So since I'm upset about that, why don't you give me the $1,000 and I can just be like, okay, we even. I said, Tony, if you don't get out of my facial with this, Joan said, girl, if you don't get away from me, okay, listen. You need to stop, all right? No, I'm not giving you no more money. I've already given you way too much money over the years. Joan is the friend that's always giving to everybody. So Lynn comes in all late for dinner with some damn lettuce, acting like she did something. And the conversation moves to why Joan is still talking to Marcus and his big hips in the first place. Girl, you know you don't like him. You know you don't really want to be with him. So why is you fool out lying around with him? Shout out to Funky Dineva. I think it's because Tony told her that it was the same thing as her colorism issue. I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay? Like, her not wanting a man with hips has nothing to do with her own hips. Like, you not wanting that chocolatey goodness looking man with all his money is because you have an issue with your own skin tone. See the difference? Racism? See the difference? When Joan gets to work the next day, Marcus shows up with the Joan phone. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he's that corny. Honestly, he was rather perfect for her if it wasn't for the fact that he had those hips. But either way, I just felt like she wasn't feeling him like that. Joan likes to be the goofy, gushing person. Like, she even told William and the girlfriends that he wasn't allowing her to be the woman because he was running too quick to be obsessed with her before she can get obsessed with him. You showing up to my job all unannounced with a Joan phone? That would turn most regular women off, so I don't know why he thought that was the move, you know. You giving her a phone is so you can have constant access to her. That's what that is, okay? She already got a cell phone, a house number, a work number. You already got a cell phone, a call phone, a house number, a work number, and now you want to buy her an additional cell phone? I'm sorry, a Joan phone, so you can get in contact with her all the damn time? I was just like, yeah. That's not the move either. I was just like, I don't like that, because to me, that's a controlling thing. You want to buy something for me? Buy me something I don't already have. I already got a phone. When Joan talks to William and Maya about this outside her office after Marcus leaves, William makes the point that she doesn't want to be with Marcus, not because of his hips, but because she's one of these, you know, women who want to be with a toxic masculine man. You want to be with somebody who treats you badly. That's what you're attracted to. And listen, As somebody who was raised by a man with some of these toxic traits, not all of them, but a few, okay? Anger issues, all of that. I do understand the pull and the gravitation towards men with problems, or men who you want to fix, or just upset being a turn on in some type of way. Like, people don't like peace that much. They act like they do, but when they get it, they call it boring. You know what I'm saying? That's what peace is. That's what calm is. That's what not all this extra shit is. Okay? But ultimately, I don't think that's what it is. I think men try to make women feel bad about who they're attracted to and who they're not attracted to, because they don't like the fact that they're sometimes the person that's not being attracted to. Men have a really hard time dealing with rejection. I don't know why. I don't know why you have such a hard. That's why it should be harder for men to get with women these days. There should be way more courting involved. And I hate to sound old fashioned, but I really believe that some of you dudes really need to pump y'all brakes. Okay? Because the fact that you think if a woman isn't attracted to you, that something is wrong with her, or if a woman isn't feeling you, then that means something is wrong with her. No, it just means we're incompatible in one way or another. It just means we're not meant for one another. It just means we don't chemically jive with one another. Sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with the woman's own insecurities or how she sees herself or toxic masculinity. Sometimes it's, I'm just not feeling you. Sometimes I just don't. I'm just not that into you. It happens. It happens. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I'm just not attracted to you and your hips like that. Y'all cool. I'll give you some. I'll date you. But there's no fire and desire. And I need fire and desire, especially after Tony lets her in on the secret that he is trying to find a home for the two of them. Oh, yes. He wants to get married. He wants to move into a home. He wants to hop, skip, and jump. And I just kind of feel like, yeah, no. Moving way too fast, way too soon. What? Like, all of that is a lot. The Joan phone. And now you're buying a home for a woman you've only been dating for a few weeks. Something ain't right about Marcus. And we're not going to act like it's all Joan. Yes, Joan has her issues, but I don't think that she wants to be with someone. I don't think most women want to be with somebody who dogs them out. I just think there are certain things that we're attracted to and certain things that we aren't. And sometimes that's just as simple as it is. Joan attempts to dump him because William told her, just be straight up. Okay, then he called her from the parking lot and it's like, yeah, I got to let this dude go. So she meets up with him so that she can, break up with him. But instead, she says she's moving to Peru. I understand this. Like, as a person who has cheated in my life, it is so hard to break up with people. Like, I can remember in high school, you know what I'm saying? You don't really want to break up with them. You just kind of don't want to be fooling with just them no more. Like, you kind of still want to fool with them. But, you still figuring it out. I think that in a lot of spaces, women aren't allowed to date. Like, you have to make a decision because men don't like it. They can have all the choices in the world. They can throw that, we not in a relationship. We didn't have that conversation. They can throw that at you anytime they want to. Y'all been in a relationship for a whole year and this fool gonna tell you how y'all never had that conversation. Let him find out that you're going out on a date with someone else, probably within the first month of y'all meeting each other, and he got a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of these dudes be. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me because I think it's just like all about control in a lot of ways. But either way, Joan attempts to dump him and instead say she's moving to Peru because she's too, scared to say what it is. I'm just not that into you. He says that he loves her. And I don't know why that worked because you don't love him, but she ends up in bed with him. And I'm guessing there was something to be seen because there was a lot of hard breathing and a little smiling and some rosacea going on right after. However, Joan still doesn't want to be with him after they hunched. She broke her 3-month rule with him too. I was like, damn, girl, how you gonna break your 3-month rule for somebody you ain't even feeling like that? What is that about? That's how you know she just needed to get laid. Like, that's why you gotta have you a faithful, you gotta have you somebody so you ain't increasing your numbers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have you somebody you can go back to every now and again. Everybody attempts to break up with Marcus for Joan because she can't seem to do it for herself. Child, Lynn was trying to do it, but she always running late for something, so she didn't have time to. Maya says, listen, Joan's a hoe, and she worships the devil. And he's like, I don't believe that. She's like, okay then, Marcus, what will you believe bad about Joan? He said, nothing. She was like, okay then, because she had been trying this whole episode to get Joan and everybody else in on his pyramid scheme. So she then starts to present him with the pyramid scheme information right after he said he wouldn't believe anything bad about Joan. That shit was too funny. Then Tony talks to him and basically says, I'm on your side. Buy a bigger house before she leaves you. All out for self, Tony. Forever and always out for self, okay? But Tony actually did take advantage of that pyramid scheme and made some money. We'll get to that in a minute. William was the last person that Marcus talked to, and he actually reached out to him because he wanted to know what was going on. Obviously, she's trying to, break up with me through her friends. It's immature. I thought we weren't playing games. So he asked for William's opinion. And William basically tells him that Joan is a man. I was just like, that's what you went to? You know what I'm saying? And then when we get to the part where he has to tell Joan, she's like, what? Like, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a transsexual unless you aren't one. And I was just like, child, if that ain't the truth, but you can't never say that. You can't say that now. You can say it then, but you can't say it now. So like I told y'all, Tony goes running over to Jones to give her all of the money she owes her for the past 3 years, which I doubt was an accurate amount, but okay. And, it's like, what, $5,000, I think? So she hands her the money. And she's like, okay, thank you, girl. And she was like, yeah, we're going out to celebrate. So you know what? Why don't I take some of this so I can get my car clean? I take some of this so I can get some dime. And you know what, girl? Let me just stop playing and take all of this money back from you because I was just trying to rub it in your face. It's like, how are you going to rub in my face that you gave me the money back that I let you borrow? What? Y'all, Tony is a terrible friend. And I think reviewing this show points out how many times she's been a terrible friend to Joan. And this is one of them times. Use somebody up, never give them their money back, and then dangle the money in their face and then snatch it out of their hand and walk out. I mean, she should be so happy that Joan don't really need that money like that. That's the only reason. I'm sure that Joan, ain't more upset about it. But I was just kind of like, Tony, you need your whole ass whipped for that. I was like, you gonna snatch the money out of my hand, child? We done been fighting in there. Girl, if you get your damn hands off this money, get out of my house. So Marcus comes over and he's upset with Joan for sending all her friends to break up with him. I said I didn't want to play games. And if you don't want to be with me, then you can just go ahead and we can let it be that. Give me my damn phone back. Okay, he didn't raised up on her, okay? Him and them hips didn't raised up on Joan. And Joan's like, oh my God, he's giving Denzel and Mo better blues. I'm like, no, he's not, but okay. And then she ends up in bed with him again. Okay, and then he says, oh, I might have to bring back the Joan phone, reminding her just how lame he is and how unattracted to him she really is. So she says, you know what? I'm moving to Peru, Marcus. He's like, fine, you want to break up with me? Fine. Okay, but you can't blame a brother for trying. And they kind of just laugh it off. And I thought that was cute. I thought that was cute because I think often we see that breakups are never that easy. And if she would have just been, 100 from jump, gave him that little pity goodbye sex and sent him on his way, then it would have been all, all to the good. We ain't have to go through all this. But y'all know, Joan can't never just be 100 about it, child. She got to, do all this extra stuff, all this little corny, extra goofy stuff. That's Joan. That's what she does.